Okay, so I think that you guys are right. Handling objections is probably the best way to go because everybody hears objections and it's discouraging when you hear them and you're not really too sure how to handle them. So it's really important to remember that everyone hears objections regardless of how successful their business becomes, and the most successful people are the ones who've received the most no's. I read the book Go for No a long time ago, and I kind of make it my goal to hear a certain number of no's, because the more no's you get, the more likely you are to hear a yes from people. And one of the differences between those who are successful and those who aren't is that they've made it a priority to improve in their ability to overcome objections. And you do this by practicing and trying to overcome objections as you get them, not stopping when someone says no. And it's really difficult to do that because when you hear no, you instantly feel like you're doing something wrong. But that's not why you're getting told no at all. It just means the person that you're talking to doesn't have enough information yet to make a positive decision. So I always look at objections, I always look at those as ways for me to get more information from my potential challengers or potential coaches so that I can give them more information to help them make a positive decision. It's really important when you get objections to stay positive and ask questions about the objection and show sincere interest in helping them. But when you're doing that and asking questions, it's also super important that you're not asking them yes or no questions, because you want to keep them talking. You don't want to just ask them one question and then if they say yes or if they say no, then the conversation is over. You want to keep them going on with the questioning and the talking back and forth, because it'll help them gain trust in you, and it'll help you learn more about your potential challengers. So it's really important to be yourself, but be bold in wanting to help them get past their objections, because you know just how much their life will be better and the results they'll get if they just make the simple choice to give Beachbody a chance. Really important to remember, this is your business and helping people is what you do. So they're the reason that you're here, and they're the reason that you're going to go forward. So there are four main kinds of objections that we hear in this business. There's the general objection to the products in general. There's a commitment objection. People are always talking about how busy they are. They don't know how they can fit it in. There's cost, which is the most common objection. And there's the objection to the coaching opportunity. And I put this quote down here. It says, "Obstacles are the things we see when we take our eyes off the goal," by Zig Ziglar. Obstacles are always going to be there, but it's a matter of how we're able to overcome them to keep our eyes on the prize. And so learning how to overcome these objections are going to be one way for you to stay focused on your goals and get to the end successfully. So general objections, I hear these all the time. Every time I've done that sort of thing, it didn't work. And so I probe and find out what kind of programs they've tried in the past, who their coach is, because a lot of times people don't realize that when they sign up, they're automatically assigned a coach, whether they buy a challenge pack through a coach or not. The system will automatically assign them a coach. So I just reassure them that I would never want them to have a bad experience. And I ask them what didn't work for them in the past and why it didn't work. And a lot of times what I find from this objection is, like I said before, they didn't know they had a coach, so they didn't have somebody holding them accountable. They just got the program and were trying to work through it on their own, and they didn't really know where to start. They didn't have any motivation or accountability. And so I'll reassure them that I'm here with them every step of the way, and I describe the accountability groups with them to let them know what kind of motivation that they can gain from that. I also find another reason that these programs didn't work for somebody in the past is simply because they didn't follow the program 100%. And the most important thing for your customers to remember is going to be that they have to follow the program. Whether they don't want to follow the meal plan or whatever, as long as they can commit however long the program is to you to stay on that meal plan, they will see results. And a lot of times people don't really want to stick to the meal plan, and that's really key to seeing success. General objection number 2 is I'm not sure this is for me. And so I usually just ask, why don't you think this is for you? I try to find out what kind of exercises they really like. And that's really key too, because you don't want to put somebody into a program and then they totally hate it. Like if you put somebody in 21-day fix and they really prefer to do yoga or Pilates, and you find out, oh man, I really should have put that person into Pyo, they're not going to like the program. So this actually is a good response to hear from your customers, because this will help you get to the root of what kind of program they really should be in. Another objection is I've tried some of those meal replacement drinks and they taste awful. And I think that a lot of people, when they first try Shakeology, they don't mix it properly. And so if they've ever tried Shakeology in the past, I found that's one reason that people don't care for Shakeology. In fact, my best friend, she had someone give her a bag a couple years ago, and she mixed it up and she told me how horrible it was. She didn't want anything to do with Shakeology. Well, about a month ago when I got her doing this program with me, I mixed some for her with almond milk and in my blender, because I always blend it for a couple of minutes to make sure it gets mixed up, and he loves it. So it's all in the way that people mix it, but I always reassure people that there are a number of different recipes out there, and I'm sure that we can find a recipe that they will enjoy and they will love. And sometimes, I don't think I've done it to any of the groups you guys have been in, but I will actually post calendars of 30 different recipes for each flavor for my challengers, so that they can try many different different recipes to find one that maybe they like best. And then I try to find out what flavors they really prefer and what appeals to them. The last general objection here is I just don't think I can do the workout. I'm too overweight and out of shape. This one here is also another one of those important objections to help you get to know your customer, because learning this about your customer will also help you find them the correct program. But it's also important with this objection, when you're working with a potential challenger, to reassure them that all of the programs have modifiers and they are all catered to all different fitness levels. So you don't have to be in spectacular shape to participate in any one of these fitness programs, because they're designed to help them get started on their journey and continue on. Let's see. Commitment. This one here really cracks me up. All I ever hear is people say, oh, I'm too busy. I don't have time. I don't know if you guys listened to that team call a few weeks ago, but she hit it on the head when she said, busy is just the word people say because they don't know what else to say. Most of the time, people have pockets of time, so there's always ways to fit it in. But the biggest thing when you hear this commitment objection from your customers is because they're not used to being healthy and fit, so they're not used to trying to find time to fit in working out and eating healthy. So they'll tell you they're incredibly busy, they don't have time to get healthy, they don't have time to work out, they're not sure if they have the ability to fit in their schedule, and they're afraid to commit to a challenge group. It's actually a time to get excited when they tell you something like this, because Beachbody is designed to help make fitness more convenient and effective for people in this situation. So typically what I'll hear is, it sounds good, but between work and everything else in my life, there's no way I could find time to do it right now. So I typically tell them I get it, because I live a pretty busy life. Most of my clients have had the same concern when they got started. And I appreciate how serious they are about wanting to fit it in, and it makes me want to help you even more. So I'm excited to get you started on this. It's really important to make sure that you're reassuring them that the workouts are short enough that they can fit it in any time of the day. And that's the best part about the accountability groups, is the workouts are 30 to 40 minutes a day. You can do them any time of the day that works for you, just as long as you're getting them in. So typically I'll say, I know it may not be clear how you'll find the time right now, but I can tell you that I've worked with a lot of people with the same concern, and they've found the time and have told me what they gained was well worth it. And they also find that it wasn't as hard to make their health and fitness a priority as they thought it was. So a lot of people don't think they have time, but when they really sit down and map it out, they have a lot more time than they really thought they did. Sorry, I'm kind of going through these fast because I got on late, so we only have like 30 minutes left. So cost objections. These are the hardest ones to overcome that I find. As you invite people to your challenge groups, you'll hear most objections about price. Most people you'll meet don't currently have money in their budget for their health and fitness needs, and that's why they're talking to you. When you hear concerns on price, it's important to realize that in most cases, the price isn't the real concern. It's just a convenient one. What you need to do is just ask a few questions to get to the real concern. Like if a customer says to you, I want to join your challenge group, but I just don't have the money right now. It's really important to relate back to their objection and their why, because by this point, before you give them price, you already know their why. So you can say something like, great, I'm glad you see the value in the challenge group. I know it'll be a great step for you in reaching your fitness goals, and I totally understand where you're coming from. A lot of my clients had the same concern when they got started. I just want to help you in any way that I can. Cost is huge for people. And it's probably the one I have the greatest difficulty overcoming with people. And I catch myself sometimes wishing that I could just help people in the challenge groups for free. And there sometimes are people in the challenge groups that can't afford a challenge pack right now, so they just buy the fitness program. Or I've had people that have purchased fitness programs in the past and can't afford Shakeology, and they haven't gotten support from a coach, so I'll go ahead and add them to a group just so that they can get started on their journey. But it's really important too to remember that we are in this to make money as well and make it a profitable business while we are helping people. So for me, another way that I kind of try to overcome this cost objection is tell them my own story of why I went ahead and took the plunge, because it was kind of a scary time when I signed up for Beachbody, because I knew I wasn't going to be able to keep working through grad school, and Mike was off work during the summer. But what I tell them is what made me give it a try was the 30-day money-back guarantee. And I knew that if I didn't like it, I would get my money back after 30 days. And I felt much better. I knew that it was worth every penny after the first 30 days, which is why I signed up to become a Beachbody coach. And then I typically ask them if the money-back guarantee changes anything for them. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I also sometimes will break down how much it is a day. So if they're purchasing like the 21-day fix challenge pack, is like $4.66 a day, which is a cup of coffee. So if you can cut out a cup of coffee a day, then you can pay for your challenge pack. Something else that kind of leads into coaching is telling a story about a friend who signed up as a Beachbody coach because she couldn't afford her challenge pack. So I just wrote this out real quick. It's kind of long, So if you guys want to watch the playback so that you can write it down, I'm just going to read it real quick so that you can kind of hear how it goes. So I totally understand how you feel. Investing in anything new can be a big decision. My friend Denise felt the same way. She had no idea how she could pay for it until she found out she could enroll as a coach and earn money by helping some of her friends take the challenge with her. We invited 10 or 15 of her friends, and with just 3 or 4 people joining her in the challenge, she was able to make money to pay for her own challenge pack. It sounds to me like you really want to do this, and you're just hesitant because of the money. Why don't we do what I did with Denise and help you earn enough money so you don't have to worry? Does that sound like a plan? Who do you know that might be interested? And then that just kind of gets them thinking about other people that maybe they could invite to the opportunity, as well as get them started making money. So handling objections about coaching. I don't really come across a lot of objections about coaching, and this is where maybe for you guys, since you're trying to get to Emerald, as you're selling challenge packs, offer the coaching opportunity as you're selling the challenge pack. You know, you can tell them, you know, you're buying this challenge pack already. It doesn't cost anything to sign up as a coach since you're already buying the challenge pack. Plus, if you really like all of the products, then you'll be able to get a 25% discount on all of the Beachbody products. Does that sound like something that's interesting to you? And most of the time they'll say yes. It's very important, though, that you make sure that they know, yes, they don't have to pay the $40 startup fee with the challenge pack, but there is the $15.95 monthly website fee, but they still end up saving like $16 on Shakeology every month. So these 3 objections are the most common ones that I hear from people when I do get objections. I don't know. I'm still trying to get where I want to be. I'm not a nutrition expert, and I'm not a salesperson. This is very common to get kind of objections about the coaching opportunity, and that's just because here, it's important to reassure your potential coaches that their journey and their story and people watching them go through their health, getting their healthy life in order, is actually what will inspire people to sign up with them as a challenger or as a coach. It's just, I don't get as many coaching objections as I get from challengers, and most of my challengers, or most of my coaches, come from my challenge groups. I've only had a couple of times where I've signed people up that haven't ever been in a challenge group, but I think it's really important to look to your challengers. So the people that you guys put in the free group, or the people that you've put in some of the other groups, start checking in with them, see how they're going. Let them know that I'm actually going to start another sneak peek into coaching in a few weeks, so you can start putting that out there to some of those people that were in those groups. So you can ask them if you were a coach, what do you think you'd enjoy most about it? How could earning some additional income be helpful to you right now? Because you don't ever know their story and where they're coming from. Maybe an extra $500 a month would help them out tremendously. Or maybe even just a couple $100 a month would help them out tremendously. You just, by not offering the coaching opportunity, I don't want to say you're letting them down, but you're keeping them away from what potential they could have. So it's important to be offering that to as many people as you possibly can. And every time you're selling a challenge pack, just throw the opportunity out there. Most of the time they'll sign up because they hear they can sign up as a coach for free and get a discount. And then you can deal with them later to figure out how far they want to take it. Let's see. So the last couple of slides. So this is just a conclusion about handling the objections. I'll go through the last couple of slides and then I'll open it up to some questions. So the key is to respond with a question to get more clarification. If you get an objection, don't jump to respond without truly understanding the real issue. And I catch myself doing this all the time because I talk to so many people every day. I catch myself just kind of skimming through what people are telling me, and sometimes I'm completely missing what they're saying to me. So it's important to slow down and remember there's real people behind those messages, and just build a relationship with them. Ask clarifying questions that show that you care, and you're sincere in wanting to offer correct solutions. Always remember that intent counts more than technique. So what your intentions are more important than how you say it. It doesn't have to be some kind of a perfect solution. Just have the best of intentions and truly want to help people. The more you help others succeed, the more likely it is that you will succeed. So choose and deliver your words with good intent, and let your technique develop through experience over time. Because technique really does come with time, and the more that you talk to people about Beachbody and all of these different opportunities, the more natural it will be to you. So I wanted to talk real quick before we ended about launching into the new year, because the first couple of months of the new year are going to be the busiest, and I know it's super frustrating right now because you guys are working your tails off and you're not seeing a lot of results, but I want to reassure you that what you're doing now, you will see the results for in the first couple of months of the year. And Tony Robbins is someone that you guys will hear a lot about as you get on all of these calls. And he says, it's not what we do once in a while that shapes our lives, it's what we do consistently. And so it's really important that every single day you're hitting your 3 vital behaviors. You're being consistent in doing all of that. And your #1 goal at the beginning of every month is to get to Success Club as quick as you can. And when I say consistency, I mean always be posting 3 to 5 times a day on both your like page and your personal page. Consistently let people see that you're doing your workouts. Consistently let people see that you're drinking your Shakeology. Consistently talk about the coaching opportunity. Consistently talk about challenge groups. Even if you're not paying for ads, the more consistently you're going through all of that stuff, the more people will take notice. Because what they're trying to do is they're trying to make sure that you're for real, that you're going to stick with this and you're serious about about this business, and you're serious about helping people, and you're serious about being healthy yourself. So they're watching, and I didn't believe that until it started happening to me, where people just randomly would message me and say, hey, I saw what you're doing on Facebook. I want to be part of one of your challenges. And this is somebody, maybe I hadn't talked to since the end of July when I first became a coach. Well, it's because they're watching and watching and watching and watching to make sure that I'm for real, that this is really something that's good for them. They'll come to you. You just have to make sure that you're consistent. You have to show up every day, show up for your business, show up every month, show up for your challengers. I don't know. I think that's all I have for the slides, but I want to open it up for you guys to have, for you guys to ask questions here. Let me see if I can go. Hi. I try to take the share off here. Stop share. There we go. Okay. There we go. So, do you guys have any questions about anything?
I don't think I have any questions.
No, because I don't either. I know that that is, but for one reason or another, they need to wait, or there's something that they have to take care of. So I guess I just need to be consistent, just continue to do what I need to do.
Yeah. Consistency is really important, and it's one thing that I struggle with still. But it's really important to just always be consistent and always do the same thing over and over. Because the more you're doing all of the same things over and over, the more people are going to take notice, and the more people that are going to be attracted to you.
Okay. So I'll just keep doing it.
Keep up the consistency.
So, let's see, I'm trying to think of next week what our topic should be. I kind of think maybe we should go over inviting. Do you guys think that would be helpful?
Yeah, that would be a good thing.
Inviting. Okay, so I'll start putting together inviting for next week. How did the slideshow work? Could you guys see it the whole time?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good. I wasn't sure. I put it together today, and then I was like, oh man, I hope this works. It's hard to tell. Okay, so if you guys don't have any other questions, I guess I'll stop it there, and then I will go ahead and post the recording to YouTube, and then I'll share the link on our training page.
Okay, sounds great.
Okay. All right, have a good night, ladies.
You too.
Thanks. You too.